fine morning, a little windy, and it's the time of year that a lot of people want to go to the field, their food plots, and nurture them along by the use of herbicides in their clover or alfalfa. Now, I watched these YouTube instructions and it's pathetic. They use no PPE. That's personal protection equipment. They're oblivious to it. They use their bare hands, they dress like this, they're in shorts, they're wearing flip-flops, whatever. They're pouring class 1 herbicide, which is probably the lowest, but yet it still has its chemical reaction if you get it on you. Each and every one of these, this Arrest Max, they come with the instructions on them. Don't get it in your eyes, don't get it on your skin. If you get it on your clothes, get your clothes off, wash them, on and on and on. Just common sense. And when you're working with a herbicide that's under pressure, if a hose breaks, you don't know where it's going. Another thing is with the sleigh. This sleigh right here will do up to, I believe, 4 acres. And yeah, 4 ounces treats up to 1 acre. And so what you have here is enough to do the 1 acre. But there again, it comes right on the package with all the precautions that you're supposed to follow. Now, I don't know how many of you climb up into a tree stand and hunt without a safety belt, but I do watch firsthand. Now, this here one, easy applied using a hand ATV or tractor sprayer controls broadleaf, and this is a 4-ounce bottle, and it also comes with the instructions on it, right on it. Now this will do 1 acre, this little amount, on broadleaves. Now you can mix these two together if you know, the rake, the rest, and the sleigh together. But with both of them, it's essential that you use a crop oil of some sort. Now, a lot of people go off on a different method of crop oil. That's fine, as long as it's a vegetable-based oil. And the vegetable-based oil will keep the mixing from foaming up in your tank, and you have a hard time getting the gallons and your herbicide balanced out right, because the foaming becomes quite an issue. Whitetail Institute, in their magazines, they recommend if you're going to, for 1 acre, 20 gallons of water, 1 pint of Arrest Max, and a half a pint of Surefire crop oil. Half acre, 10 gallons, half pint of Arrest Max, 4 ounces of your crop oil. A 1/4 acre, 5 gallons, 4 ounces of Arrest Max, 2 ounces. Now I'll show this to you so you can see it real close. And you can go online and get that information. It's really critical to get that right. But just remember, when you're doing that, when you're putting this herbicide on, it is a chemical. Now, when you get down to the 1/4 acre and the 5 gallons, you may want to have a 5-gallon bucket on hand. Now that will let you know that you got 5 gallons, okay, especially in a backpack sprayer like I got, I'm going to use in some areas. That way, I got a 4-gallon backpack sprayer, then I know I can mix 5 gallons in this bucket and pour 4 gallons into my hand sprayer. So I've got the mixture right. And it's pretty simple, you know, if you go at it. But the main thing I want to stress is your personal protection equipment. I see guys dumping this stuff in, and it says right on the label, wear gloves, wear, you know, clothing. Don't go out like this. You're spraying stuff. You don't know where it's going. And if you get downwind of it, it's going to go on you. Now, here's my suggestion. This is a tie-back suit. It's relevantly inexpensive, but it's waterproof. And I'll put it on, and I'll show you what I'm going on, will be wearing when I put herbicide of any kind on. The first and most important is a chemical resistant type rubber gloves to keep that off of your skin, because you're doing all this with your hands. Now, it says don't inhale it. You want, I don't know if I got one of those. No, I don't, yeah. You know, at least, you know, everybody's wearing these masks today. At least have one of these on. And if the best result is when I'm spraying with the tractor sprayer, I'm going to have the respirator on. And the most important thing is when you're looking at this stuff, is the last thing you want to get sprayed in the face with it. So a full face shield is mandatory. You're looking back. If a hose breaks and you're looking back at your sprayer on your ATV or your tractor, and for some reason a line lets loose and you're looking back there and boom, you've got it in your face. Now what are you going to do? Well, here's what you're going to do. You are going to have your first responder kit, because you and you alone are going to be the first responder. The first thing you want to have is a source of fresh water with you. A couple bottles of these will go a long way, especially if you get it in your eyes. Media start flushing it out. The other thing you want to have is a bar of soap or a bottle of soap. That way you can start washing your face, your hands, whatever, immediately after using that. And a small towel to wipe yourself down. Now, like I said, people don't understand an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. But when you go to the field, I hope when you go there you have a safety harness. I hope if you're carrying a gun, it's unloaded when you pull it up the tree. On and on and on, you know, because what they're showing on these YouTube channels is everything but unsafe manners of spraying herbicides. They're out there acting like they're high-tech with their BS, and they got tattoos on them. They got an attitude and tattoos. That's going to keep that herbicide off your skin, right? Wrong. Now you're talking to a man that had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in the 4th stage. I was supposed to have been dead in 6 weeks. I used to put on Roundup in the landscaping to kill off the weeds prior to grading, so the root system would come out real easy. I don't know if that is how I got the lymphoma. I know they had a bunch of lawsuits about it and all the use of Roundup, and I didn't go that path. That was 21 years ago now. But I do know that I sprayed hurriedly like this. And this helps one person survive that nasty disease of cancer, and it's worth my time and effort. Now, a lot of you beginners are sitting online and you want to use the herbicides, you're sort of apprehensive about them. Like I said, Whitetail Institute, you give them a call or go online, they'll set you straight with the mixture rates and everything. Now, I'm going to show you what the difference is from how some people spray and how I spray. it'll take me a second. Here's what I'm going to go to the field with. Now you notice this Tyvek suit? It's got a hood on it. You're carrying chemicals on your back. That lid could come loose. Stuff will be coming down your neck. You can't have that. Like I said, you're tripping, maybe falling. All of a sudden you're inundated with chemicals. So, wearing a respirator, mask. Now this, right now, also, the other thing is, you want to have rubber boots on because you're walking around in that. There ain't no use of absorbing that up through your socks or thongs or whatever people wear. It just disgusts me to watch the ignorance. I gotta make sure everybody heard that. It just disgusts me to watch people walking around that ignorant, spraying chemicals. Because what will happen is eventually they'll get up to a stronger chemical and they'll still be in habit with doing the same spraying application. So try to avoid that. Like I said, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Now, I just got pure water in this clean sprayer. Now I'm going to show you how far this will drip. But I don't know if that's showing it. But if you're out there spraying that, and you're up and down and all around, and you keep pumping this, and they're over here, and they're doing that, you want to have protective gear on. Because at no time do you know when this hose could burst, even though you did an annual inspection on it. Things happen. It's called accidents. And there again, you are going to be the first responder. And if you're not equipped in the field, stay out of the field. Because once you get yourself inundated, your whole family will suffer from your ignorance. Now, like I said, I really am not here to make friends. I'm here to help one person. That one person that can benefit from this. The rest of you can thumbs down, stick that thumb up your backside. I could care less. I'm the one that had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I know what cancer is. I'm just trying to help some of you. If I help one avoid that situation, and if I help other people that are just getting into food plot, maintaining it with proper PPE, that's called personal protection equipment. That's what we have on right now. Then my job is accomplished. So laugh, do whatever you want to do, but I'll tell you one thing, at 70 years old, I still got a lot of steam in the locomotive. So I'll bring it on. Anyway, when you're going to put this on, have this up, this down. And keep this sprayer held down at a low level. And like I say, all I'm shot in there right now is pure water. I just hope that this little rant and this education drives that point home. Because like I say, I see so many people with no gloves, riding around on four-wheelers, carrying backpack sprayers, inhaling that fresh chemical. How stupid can you be? Now I flunked second grade, so I know I wasn't the smartest or the brightest light bulb in the package. But through 70 years of life, I've picked up a few safety preventative measures that may keep you here on this face of this earth a little longer, healthy. Anyway, so when you go out to the field and you're all gung-ho with the herbicides, like I said, there's so many things today. Here's another little instrument you might want to pick up. I forgot about that. You can get a measuring cup. They're relevantly cheap. You can get them at the farm store. That way you can measure your herbicide precisely and go from there. I just hope this little demonstration on safety at this time of year while you're doing your spraying of herbicide helps some of you out and get some of the apprehension off of you. So go to the field, be safe. So that's it from the non-typical. Well, here's something that everybody needs if they're going to be a food plotter, and that's a measuring wheel. And I suppose you can do it on a GPS thing, apparatus, but with this measuring wheel you can figure up the square footage so you can adjust, you take that figure and adjust to your spray applications. You just take the length times the width, so ever what the wheel is, and what we'll do here is I'll show you. By the way, this was that clover field that we mowed a couple weeks ago with the little blue tractor, and look at that growth of clover already. But it's got some grasses in it, and that's what we're going to spray. But anyhow, we'll take off from this point and measure to that big oak tree down there, that's straight down there, and we'll get that measurement, and then we'll take one back across at the widest point and get that measurement, and then with those two multiply them, come up with the square feet, and that's how much herbicide you need to spray on. Now, like I said, we'll just set this at 0, and we're going to take off walking to that big oak tree. Well, we got the measurements. We were 150 to the big oak tree and 125 across. Take those two numbers, we came up with 18,750 square feet. That's 22,000, basically, roughly, in a half an acre. So we're right at a half an acre, 18,750. That would be, you know, I'm going to spray it as a half acre. Because it's now won't be all that much. But I want to show you something that happens, and I'll tell you, sometimes it just, there's no rhyme or reason. I want to take you over here. Like I said, accidents happen. That's what it's called, accidents. And there's a situation. You just seen me spraying up there with water, and I still just got water in here. Anyhow, I unload the sprayer back here in the back, and the nozzle came off somewhere on the ride down. I had it hanging, and so it's another trip to town. Just, I'll tell you what, sometimes you just wonder about yourself. What were the odds of that nozzle coming off? Apparently I didn't have it tight, which I'm glad it came off because I don't have any application in it right now, but if I would have, that could have been a big oh shit time. Oh well, go to town. Go to town and get a new nozzle. The recommendations are, we got a half acre here, and they suggest 4 ounces per half acre. So we got a 4-gallon sprayer, and we're going to put 2 ounces of a rest max in it. We're going to fill it up twice, and that'll keep it ready. That's where this little cup comes in handy. So we'll put 2 ounces in this 4-gallon backpack sprayer. And it's always good to have a moldable tool with you because this is sealed. You want to break that seal. So we got that seal broke.
Now we'll put two ounces in there, which is not a whole lot. That's 2 ounces. Now we're going to do that twice. That's a rough map. Ah, we got that done. Oh. Now we'll take the crop oil and we will put about 2 ounces of, that would be 4 ounces. We'll put 2 ounces of this in there also. I want to make sure it stays on. So we got 2 ounces of that. So about 50-50 on that. And that's how it goes. Now we'll start down. Let's show you. See, that's where rubber gloves come in handy. I can't believe, like I said, people out there putting stuff on with no gloves, no nothing. So anyhow, we'll get that put on, and when we'll fill this tank on up and shake the heck out of it, and then we'll get on with the program. That ought to get it. And let's see, shake that up real good. Agitate it. Get that lid on tight. Oh, by the way, I put 2 ounces of slay in there. 4 ounces, but it's in this bottle, so we got a half acre. And I got some heavy broadleaf over there on that end, so I put it on a little stronger. Well, let's get to spraying it. Make sure you start like, and I'll work back this way. There you go. Accident happened. But the wind's coming from the camera to me, so I'll start down at that direction. You want to make sure you got it mixed up real good. So you shake it at least a minute, I'd say. And that way it's agitated throughout. And that's the nice thing about that Surefire crop oil. It doesn't foam. If that would be ag or crop oil, it'd be really making a lot of foam. But this doesn't, because it's vegetable based, vegetable oil based, instead of petroleum. Well, we got it shook up pretty good. Now we'll go down there, like I said, we'll start at that end. Got about an 8-mile-an-hour wind, and that'll, we won't be walking into it.
Well, here's the nice thing about having that water and that soap with you. Boy, it's hot. I get my hands wet. It get a little bit of this on me. I'm over here getting this soap on. That safe spot where you haven't sprayed. Get it on your hands. You're right out here in the field. And it's hot. So you can get right after that residue, if there's any on you. It don't take much. And then, okay, rinse yourself off. That'd come in value. If you got that in your eyes or had a mishap, I guess you could get down there in the creek. It's got water running in it. But I feel a lot more refreshed right now. Get my towel. Yeah, that's better than nothing. So, like I said, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Keep your safety unit, your first responder gear, out of the spray area so it's not getting herbicide on it. Now I'm going to take you over here and show you some undesirables that I'm going to take out because they're too big and they definitely aren't a desirable weed. Here's this thistle, another thistle here, and we don't want these in here, and they're pretty mature. So what we'll do is chop that dude right out of there. Yeah, we got the root ball and all. I want to pick that up because I sprayed herbicide on it. I don't have my gloves on right now. And then there was another one over here. I'll keep searching for it. Right there it is. And you can see the herbicide on it, but it don't take much. I took that out. Hand eradication. Take it off the field, and you don't want that on. Get it out of here. So if you see mature weeds like that, especially those undesirable thistles, you can go ahead and dig them out. But like I said, gloves are over at the sprayer and stuff. Don't pick them up because I just sprayed chemicals on them, but they'll die out where they're at. Well, I'm going to call that a day. Heat index is in the 90s, and with that little delay, having to go get that sprayer this morning, that put me behind schedule. So I hope that helps somebody. And the nice thing about spraying them with a backpack sprayer is when you get into an infestation, you can get that nozzle right down at the roots and get a good, oh, not saturation, but a good spray on it. Whereas if you're riding by with the four-wheeler or a sprayer and it's got that grass, clover's telling that clover's acting like an umbrella. But with that stick on that backpack, I can get right down, stick it right down, and get it right down on the undesirables. So that's it in my way of doing weed eradication in clover. Safety's number one.